He wants to be the next Prime Minister.
We're aiming for the stars. If ever there was a moment of really big change in British politics, I believe it's now.
And his party has been growing since last July.
Voted for reform, and really as a protest vote to show we've had enough Labour.
But to break through this year, Reform UK needs to transform its support into votes.
Go round the pubs and campaign. That's my advice to all of you.
And avoid falling out.
Why do these people keep seeming to fall out with you?
She was don't fall out with me. People come and go in parties all the time.
Since last summer's general election, there's been dozens of small, often unnoticed local council by-elections. They usually attract just a few hundred votes, but Reform UK have been gaining ground. Alistair Jeffreys was their candidate in this one just outside Ipswich.
What sort of help have you had nationally in this council by-election?
What I've noticed is that we've become a lot more organised over the last few months, which is perhaps because of people who have come over from the Conservative Party with levels of experience, that they can then bring that to help us on our campaigns.
Alistair lost here by just 30 votes, but managed to win over many first-time voters.
We never voted in the council election before.
Never, no, never. And never voted for reform. And what swayed me was the canvasser at the door.
I voted Reform today because they're the only party who's talking any sense at the moment.
There's been more than 200 council by-elections held since Labour entered government, and in those seats, Reform's vote share has gone up the most, by more than 9%. Since Kemi Badenoch became Conservative leader last year, Reform's vote share has gone up even further. The increase is partly down to Reform standing more candidates. Last August, they stood in just a third of council by-elections, but by this month, it was almost every single one.
We're now sending people out around the country.
Reform's campaign is run from its central London headquarters with 18 full-time staff recruiting, vetting and training candidates.
I have spent more time in the last 7 months behind the scenes, out of the shot of cameras and publicity, working on building the party.
Part of the building process involves huge rallies like this one in Hull.
We need you to put posters in your windows. We need you to deliver leaflets in your streets. We need you to tell your friends and neighbours that this is something new and exciting and different.
The point of these events is to fire people up, to make them angry, to persuade them not just to go out and vote for reform, but to knock on doors and become party activists. Have you done that before for other parties?
No. Never been in a political party in my life before, but I've joined this one. England needs help.
Have you done it before for any other political party?
No. I just think this country's gone down the pan and somebody has to do something.
I've been speaking to Reform members at some of your rallies. Lots of them have never been involved in politics before. Lots of them have never knocked on doors.
Well, on the one hand, it's great to have people who are fresh and new into politics. They haven't got any cynicism, you know, they're in it for all the right reasons. Most of our branches are literally first-timers. So there's a lot of hand-holding needs to go on.
Are you worried about that?
I'm worried if we can't direct keen enthusiasts into doing the right things.
Reform's general election campaign was hurt by candidates with a history of racist and offensive views, something the party wants to avoid in future.
With more training, the way that they recruit people, the vetting of people, everything about it is professional, and it wasn't.
Have you seen people sort of be filtered out, have been told, I'm sorry,
Yes,
you can't do it?
Yes, I have. But I don't know what the reasons are.
Have you been turning people away?
Lots.
Really?
35% failure rate. And some of it quite brutal. We can all swear once or twice or whatever, but they've sworn too much on social media. Internally, we're criticised for being overly strict.
In recent weeks, Reform has been consumed by infighting, culminating in one MP, Rupert Lowe, being kicked out the party. At this rally in Hull, Nigel Farage was introduced by a local councillor.
Nigel is the man who's going to be our next Prime Minister.
2 weeks later, she quit the party.
Why do these people keep seeming to fall out with you?
She was don't fall out with me. People come and go in parties all the time, and they're tens of thousands every year.
Has this hurt you? Has this cost you members, do you think?
At the edges. At the edges, yes.
You think you have lost some members because of it?
At the edges, yes. You know, there's a 1 or 2% of the party who think he's the great man and he's been unfairly treated, and you get that.
May's local elections will determine whether Reform can capitalise on their momentum and if Nigel Farage really is on the road to becoming Prime Minister. Harry Horton, ITV News.